Today, I'm going to be comparing a break barrel air rifle to a PCP air rifle. This is my Gammo Swarm Whisper 22 cal, and this is my Airgun Avenger 22 caliber. Obviously, the big difference is the power plant with each style of air gun. And what that means is a big difference in velocity, especially since this Gammo Whisper is set and it's non-adjustable the way it is. You basically have to tear a break barrel down and tune it, whereas a PCP these days, you can tune them externally. So with velocity being a limiting factor, in which this Gammo Whisper shoots at 660 feet per second at the muzzle, and this Airgun Avenger can obviously be tuned down or tuned up, but in this video it's shooting at 890 feet per second. What that equates to is the distance downrange. It's not just because they're inaccurate from the get-go, it's because the limiting factor is what the muzzle velocity coming out of the gun. So at 660 feet per second at the muzzle, pellets are going to start destabilizing very quickly at varying yardages. So what that means is you need to test this rifle and get ammunition that shoots good for one, and figure out the exact distance it likes to be shot at. So as of this video, I'll be testing both of these rifles at 25 yards, just doing some quick 5-shot groups using the 22 cal JSB Exact Jumbo 1589s. And using a very similar magazine design in both rifles. And another limiting factor is that the scope on this Gammo Swarm Whisper that came with it is a 4x32. So I got the scope on the Avenger turned down to 4 power, and I'm going to get set up here at 25 yards and take 5 shots out of each. Woo, that's a nice group down there. Let's go check it out. For a break barrel at 25 yards with a 4-power scope, that is pretty awesome. 5 shots, and the majority of them are right here. There's a quick 5 shots at 25 yards with the scope power on 4. Here you guys go. Just a quick and dirty 5 shots, as you can see. So you can see the target here in this group with the Gammo Whisper 22 cal using JSB 1589s and the Air Venturi Avenger using the JSB 1589s, and both the magazines are almost identical. Now, as you can see here, the Gammo Whisper group is almost able to be covered by a dime, and the Air Venturi Avenger group can be covered by a dime, and both scopes are at 4 power in this video. Again, 25 yards, just a quick dirty 5 shots, because this style of break barrel air gun that I have isn't meant for super precise shots by any means, and it was set up for as a hunting rifle, and that is more than sufficient at 25 yards to take small game or pesting. And I just put the scope on it, the standard 4x32 Gammo scope. So, and then you can see 5 shots, 4 almost in the up here and then right here. So that is really good for a break barrel at 25 yards. And these were going around 660 feet per second. And these, out of the Avenger, were going like 890-ish. I chronographed them earlier. So that is pretty awesome, comparing a break barrel to a PCP air gun, just a quick 5 shots. I hope you can see here why PCPs outshine break barrels. It's not so much of a hold or accuracy, it's because the velocity. Once the pellet hits a certain velocity, it starts to become very unstable. And at the muzzle, if a break barrel is shooting at 660 feet per second, downrange, that is going to drop tremendously. So on impact, they were probably around 500 feet per second, which is not much. Whereas on the Air Venturi Avenger, 890 feet per second, still carrying some energy downrange. And what happens is when you shoot a pellet very fast, obviously it has more energy to keep going, and it could fly better, obviously. Whereas a pellet that goes slow from the get-go doesn't have any oomph behind it, and whatever you get downrange, that's what it is. So the thing is about break barrels is they're limited to the range. You have to figure out exactly what range they shoot the best pellet at and stick with it, or anything closer. So obviously, I wouldn't be taking this and shooting it at 100 yards like with the Avenger. As I'm about to show you now, I don't think a break barrel could do this. So check this out, what the Avenger did earlier for me. Back to back at 100 yards, guys. Woo! Back to back, 3 cards. Let's go check it out. The wind picked up and almost knocked out one of the cards down there. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Hit. Hit. This card was falling off, so I hit it still, knocked it off. Woo! 3 cards back to back, 100 yards. Woo! So I appreciate you watching as always, and I hope you can see here what the big difference is between brake barrels and PCPs. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.